Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Let's Get Loud podcast. I am so sorry, everyone. This is a solo podcast episode with A. Ooh, do you know what's happening right now in my DMs? People are sending me gorgeous, stunning dresses that they're thinking of wearing when we are in Hawaii, which is so fun. Um, Anyway, hi everyone. Okay, I am going to be batch recording a few solo podcast episodes. I'm going to do three here today. This is me giving myself the pep talk that Alicia, you will do three. You will hammer these out, and then you will be good for 3 weeks because you guys, on Tuesday, I am headed to Hawaii for 8 days. I told Neil 7, but it was really 8, but he won't really count. Um, yeah, so I'm taking my mom to Hawaii. It is going to be incredible. It's a Beautycounter business, well, incentive trip. So I earned the trip. We're staying at the Four Seasons in Oahu. I'm going on a snorkeling catamaran trip with in Turtle Canyon. I don't know what that means, but it sounds amazing. So I just kind of wanted to come on here and get you guys all sorted before I go. So that's what's up with me. Now, listen, when I get home, it's almost like when I get home, I think it's going to be my new year. Just because I don't know, it's like my life right now is before Hawaii, after Hawaii. It's like all I can think of. And it feels like any kind of like massive life changes that I want to make have to wait until I come back from Hawaii. Cause right now I'm just so focused on like getting ready to go. Cause as much as it's amazing to go away, my life still continues. The kids still need lunches, like, and to get to activities, and my job still continues. So I do find it is a lot to get ready for a trip. Anyways, so I have been listening to a new audiobook and it might change my life and change yours because I am going to take this content, I'm going to formulate it for weight loss, and it is going to be coming in hot at your weight loss. So this is still a ways away. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but the audiobook I'm listening to is the 12-week year. If you I actually just got a subscription for Audible, which is audiobooks, and I downloaded it using that platform. You do you, boo. But if you guys end up starting this audiobook or book, like an actual book, please let me know. I want to know your opinion because I am listening to this on my walk and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Everything he's saying is amazing. I'm actually going to listen to it twice. I'm going to listen to it once on my walk. And then I'm going to do once, like literally in front of my computer. It is incredible. So I'm going to take this content and make it into a Anyways, wow, way ahead of myself. But this book is really, I don't want to say inspiring, giving me ideas on how I can kind of reformulate my life. I'm at this point where I really want to be productive and really make the most of my minutes. And I just need to reorganize my work life a little bit, which is also my home life. And anyways, lots of fun things coming after Hawaii when it comes to life changes. Very dramatic. And as always, I will keep you guys up to date on all the things I'm doing, why I'm doing it, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. I will keep you guys up to date on all of that. But okay, what are we talking about today? So it is January 11th when I'm recording. And we have members in our community working at weight loss. And some common questions are coming up lately. And so I thought, why not address them on the podcast? So if you guys are listening to this today, we are going to talk about, is it possible that I'm not eating enough? I really want to unpack that. And if this topic you enjoy, we are also having this conversation within our sneak peek group. Okay. And this is a group of thousands of other women who are, like minded women who we're having solid conversations in that community group. And today, when this podcast comes out on Friday, we're going to be talking about, is it possible that I'm not eating enough, which is a kind of controversial topic. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. We're going to unpack this. I do want to preface this by telling you guys that my intentions are always for you to not feel broken, not feel stuck, or not understand. And so my intentions are not to say, you're wrong. My intentions are, have you considered this? Okay. So the whole concept of not eating enough, I'm really not sure where this came from. And I honestly, logically, rationally, when we really think about this, I challenge that it makes sense. Again, it's the diet industry is I need to look this up. The diet industry is making you believe that it's more complicated and harder than it needs to be. Okay. I'm looking this up, guys. Where did the concept, why don't I just use voice to text? Where did the concept of not eating enough come from? Question mark. Do you guys use predict to text? You should. Starvation. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, I'm gonna check on that later, but I'm sure you guys don't want to wait for me to Google it. So let's look at some examples. Okay. Let's look at people on Survivor. Talk about not eating very much. They're on Survivor for 39 days. I wonder how much weight the average person loses on Survivor. I'm sure some people lose literally 20 pounds on Survivor. It is crazy. So, do you think that they would be perfect examples of people going into starvation mode? I think there's some days they don't eat at all. Some days they might have a cup or two of rice, which is not a lot of energy. And they're also being physical. So they still lose weight. Okay, let's look at people in developing countries. People in developing countries who do not have a lot of resources or food available to them, are they struggling with obesity? People with eating disorders, you know, are they people that are anorexic, that are possibly consuming very minimal amounts of calories every single day? Are they gaining weight? I'm just giving out some examples. Okay. There was actually an experiment done. It was, I don't know if it was in the 70s. It's called the Minnesota experiment. And they took a bunch of men and they basically starved them for a certain amount of days and they all continue to lose weight. Now, here's what does happen though. It's called metabolic adaptation. And as you start to lose weight, okay, your body requires less energy to function. So, Alicia at 230 pounds versus Alicia at 170 pounds, I require less energy to do the same thing at 170 than 230. If you think about it, imagine I had a 60 pounds. I was carrying 60 pounds around with me all day. I would actually require more energy. I mean, just getting out of my chair, right? Just think about that. So as you lose weight, you need less energy to function. So metabolic adaptation does happen. So let's say you're on a weight loss journey and you have lost 20 pounds, okay? And you're doing the same thing as you were doing before, and all of a sudden, the weight loss stops. It's not that you're on a plateau. It's not that you're not eating enough. It's that you're not in a calorie deficit anymore because your body requires less energy. Okay. I feel like I should have done a trigger warning for this episode. I hope I have not triggered anyone. I hope I have not upset anyone, but I don't want you guys getting on the scale confused. And if you get on the scale and let's say you gain weight or you stayed the same or whatever, and this weekend you're like, oh, must not have eaten enough. You're never going, if that is the thought that goes in your brain, you are never going to get to a point where you figure out a solution, where you create a new system, where you get the results you're looking for if you think the problem is that, because that's not the problem. The problem for most of us is that we are consuming far more energy than we actually realize. Okay. It's not that you're bad. It's not that you're lying to yourself. It's that you're a human being. And it is actually extremely difficult to have a real understanding of how much energy is going in your body. We're just, taking an extra bite here. The portion that you think is 2 ounces is 4 ounces. Like if you are not consistently losing weight, it is not that you are not eating enough. Okay. But do you know what not eating enough triggers very often? A binge. If you are consuming very low amounts of calories and you are creating a massive calorie deficit, you are feeling hungry, you are feeling deprived, and it probably feels difficult. And what often happens when we do something like this, we end up binging, whether it's on the weekend, whether it's on one night. And again, sometimes, most of the time, you're underestimating or under acknowledging how much energy could go in your body during a binge. Literally thousands of calories could go in. So let's say you have this week where Monday to Friday, you are like the perfect little angel. You're having boiled chicken and Greek yogurt and you are just, you're crushing it. The scale's going down. You're losing weight. You're hungry, but you don't care because you're losing weight. And then you get to Friday and you totally lose control. You go out to dinner with friends, and it's like the first time you've even smelled a French fry in 4 days, and you just absolutely give her. And then it comes to your weigh in. Let's say you weigh in on Monday morning and you haven't lost weight. You don't remember the Friday. You just focused on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you're like, oh, I barely ate this week and I didn't lose. Please be careful with the language that you're using and the message that you are sending yourself. You are then creating this like victim mentality. I don't know about you guys, but when I am not getting the results that I'm looking for, I for sure have moments of frustration. Okay. Moments where I'm like, oh, this is hard, but I don't want to stay stuck there. I don't want to stay stuck where I feel like I'm not in control, where I feel like a solution is not possible. And so once I've kind of like got myself together a little bit, I say, okay, this is your reality. This is data. This is not good or bad. This is what's happening. And then and saying to myself, now you get to decide what you want to do about it. So, how about I go with this for you guys? If you are not currently losing weight, and let's talk about what not currently losing weight is. Not currently losing weight to me would be that you are being consistent with something for 3 weeks and the trend of the scale is not going down. So, I'm going to say that again. I would be happy to declare you are not losing weight if you and why does it matter if you're being consistent? Well, you can't declare that your plan isn't working if you're not following your plan. So first we need to make sure you're actually being consistent with your plan before we make a new plan. So step 1, are you being consistent? The answer is no. Let's figure that out. Let's focus on consistency. The answer is yes. Have you given it 3 weeks of consistency? And I say the trend of the scale because we fluctuate or the scale fluctuates so much, right? Water weight, literally full of poop, dehydrated because you're doing shots of tequila the night before. Like it goes like this. So I love to look at the trend of the scale. And then I'm not putting too much power and energy on weigh in day. And then I'm not like freaking out as much if there's a random spike in the scale. It's really just being mindful and watching the trend. Okay. I'm measuring the trend. So if you're after 3 weeks, the trend of the scale is not going down, I think you can declare, all right, clear. And what do you declare? Not that it's not working, not that you're broken. You declare, my plan is not creating a calorie deficit for me. And then you decide if you want to make a change. Maybe you know you're in charge of your life, right? You can be like, "Actually, I'm good. I'm happy. I enjoy my lifestyle. I feel comfortable in my body. I don't want to make a change right now." Even if you're not comfortable in your body, you're the boss. No shoulds, no have to. I don't want to prioritize it right now. Amazing. Go for it. Okay? But if you do, my number one tip for you is to create awareness, increase your level of awareness. And I have a challenge for you. So here's my challenge. And let's tier this. If you're listening to this and you have not lost weight, I want you to ask yourself, have I been consistent? So have I been performing my daily tasks at 85%? And maybe you're like, what should my daily task be, Alicia? I can't tell you what your daily task should be, but how about I come back next podcast and we'll talk about some daily tasks. So let's say you've been functioning at 85% with your daily tasks, okay? And you are not losing weight. Wait, let's say you're not being consistent with your tasks. I need you to ask yourself, why am I not being consistent? Am I trying to do too much too soon? Am I trying to do things for weight loss alone? Or am I not staying connected to the daily tasks or a combo of the three? So if you're not losing weight, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not that you're not eating enough. Number one thing, is it that you're not being consistent? If the answer is yes, how come? So there's 3 reasons why you're not being consistent. You're trying to change too much too soon. You're changing things that are not authentic to you. You're changing them for weight loss alone. Thing number 3, you're not staying connected to the daily tasks, actions that you've identified that will give you access to success. So those are the 3 reasons why perhaps you're not being consistent, and maybe it's a combo. So you need to figure out why you're not being consistent, make some changes, focus on consistency. Like just the most consistently consistent person you can imagine. Okay, so that's the next tier. So now let's say you are being consistent and you're not losing weight. Then you say to yourself, okay, I'm not in a calorie deficit. So you get the job, the homework of creating a higher level of awareness. And I would challenge you to the 7-day lifestyle challenge. So this is something within our membership that we recommend to our members when they feel like I'm just not sure why I'm not losing weight. I feel like I should be losing weight. I feel like my actions should be resulting in a calorie deficit. And what it is, there's some prompting, reflecting questions on there every single day, and then after the 1 week, we actually go back and look for trends. But basically, you're writing down everything you're eating for a week, not the number of calories. You're just keeping a food journal. You're reflecting on your hunger and you're keeping a food journal. You will be shocked at what you are actually putting in your mouth in 7 days when you do a journal. Increasing your level of awareness is maybe one of the most powerful, accessible, free, impactful tools that you can do in your life today. Don't do anything else. Just for 7 days, I'm going to write everything that I eat and my hunger cues and how I'm feeling. And there's some other questions there that are important to answer. By the end of those 7 days, you will know exactly where that extra energy is coming in your body. And you will know exactly where to put your effort and your energy. So, in conclusion, I hope that made sense. I gave so many, there were so many, I think I was a little bossy. There were so many like layers and steps, and in my brain, it is so clear. But let me summarize this. If you're not currently losing weight, I do not want you to feel confused or broken. I want you to be the badass that you are. I want you to be the CEO of your own life. I want you to take control. I want you to shut the victim mentality down and say, this is my current situation. These are my resources. This is my environment, and I'm going to figure this out. And then you put your head down, you figure out where to start. Is it that I'm not being consistent? Maybe you don't even know what actions you should be consistent with. Maybe we need to start there. Okay. Is it that you're lacking consistency? Is it that you are consistent, but the scale's not going down? What is the problem? Let's come up with a solution and let's stay committed to figuring it out. The people that are successful in their lives, in their weight loss journey, in their business, do you know what the one thing is they have in common? It's not what they eat for breakfast. It's that no matter what, they are committed to figuring it out. Okay, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that podcast. If you guys have any specific questions about the content that I just at you, please send me a DM. I want to have these conversations. And you know what? If you don't agree with what I'm saying, perhaps you're like, no, starvation mode is a real thing. Let's talk about it like adults. It's like I am open to respectful conversations. I actually love having conversations with people that have different perspectives and different experiences and different knowledge. I want to be better than before. And how I can get better and learn more is from surrounding myself with people that think differently to me. So I am open to all the conversations. I think this was a great podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I cannot wait to come back. I'm going to come back next week. We're going to talk about what you should be doing every single day to create weight loss. That's a sexy title, isn't it? And then we're going to talk about how to create calorie awareness without counting calories. All right, it's all coming in the next couple of weeks. All right, everyone, have a great day. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.